Hey! So, in today's video, I wanted to go over the previous video. I've had a lot of people ask me a lot of questions about the video, so let me get straight into it. Today, I want to talk about two topics: fear and anxiety. So it's universal. Everyone has dealt with some form of anxiety and fear. It makes you do things you wouldn't normally do. Or even in some cases, it makes you not do things that you want to do, but you just don't do. So I wanted to briefly go over some therapeutic techniques for you. One is CBT, which stands for Cognitive Behavioral Therapy. And I'll put a link in the description below to a video that goes more in depth onto what that is. So it's a form of talk therapy where you focus on your thoughts. So your thoughts influence your emotions or your feelings, and your feelings influence your actions or behaviors. And your behaviors reinforce your thoughts. So with CBT, you focus on your thoughts. Because if you change your thoughts, you change your emotions. If you change your emotions and your feelings, you change the actions you do or don't take. And when you start taking actions that lead to positive results, they reinforce the new thoughts that you're having, and they become automatic over a certain point of time. So one of the negative loops that I used to tell myself when I was younger is, you're not enough to have friends. So when you tell yourself something like that, it makes you feel low. So when you feel low, you're not in a good emotional state. And since you're not in a good emotional state, you end up not hanging out with friends. You don't go out and meet new people. And what you do instead is do things like watch TV, play video games, or even maybe binge watch on Netflix, right? We've all done that from time to time. But when you do those things reinforce your original thought, which is you're not enough and you're not good enough to hang out with. And it's because you're doing those things. And with CBT, it's about focusing on the thoughts, and that will change the rest. Now, dealing with anxiety. A popular treatment is called exposure therapy. And there's two types: systematic desensitization and flooding. And I'll address both of these pretty quickly. So before I get into that, the underlying theory behind it is a phobia is a learned fear. And by exposure to the thing that you fear itself, you will relearn not to fear it anymore. So with systematic desensitization, what you do is you create a list of a fear and everything that gives you anxiety in that fear. So for example, if you have a fear of spiders, you may write a list, and at the top of the list, the things that give you the least amount of anxiety may be thinking about a spider, looking at a picture of a spider, stuff like that. The things at the bottom give you the most anxiety. That's going to be stuff like looking at a live spider in a cage, or even having the spider crawl on you, and those give you the most. So the goal of this treatment is to slowly work your way from number one to the last one. So you start on one, but you don't move on to two until you feel you're ready to move on to number two. The other one is flooding. So flooding is the opposite. Flooding is where you take that same list and you say, I'm going to do the last one. I'm going to let the spider crawl on my arm. And the theory behind it is, if you do that one over a long extended period of time, you will no longer be anxious about that specific phobia or fear. Now I have two great TED Talks that will expand on that issue that I think you guys should definitely check out, and I will put a link in the description below for them as well. So the first one is Till. It's on social confidence and the fear behind social interactions and also judgment from others. Now, the second one is Dr. Ivan Joseph. It's called The Skill of Self-Confidence. So he talks about the repetition aspect of gaining confidence in anything in life. And he also goes on to say that you can't have confidence in anything in life unless the task or skill you're doing is no longer novel. It's no longer new. For myself, I'm a shy person. I have anxiety when it comes to talking and approaching girls. Now, in general, I'm shy in a lot of different social interactions. And that's why I did the video. Now, hopefully you guys can tell of the two techniques which one I did, because it is the flooding technique. So I put myself in a situation where I knew I would confront rejection. And by doing that, I could relearn that it's not scary. It was very informative. The first time I went out, big shocker, I didn't talk to any girls. A bunch of girls passed me, the anxiety got me, I couldn't do it. So, I told my friend that next time we go out, if I don't talk to a girl, I'll give you $100. Because I understand that sometimes we will do more to avoid losing something than we will to gain something. So, we go out for the second time and still, again, didn't talk to any girls. So I gave my friend $100. So then, I told my friend the next time we go out, if I don't do it, I'll give you $200. And again, we go out and still nothing. So then I gave my friend $200. So then the next time, I told my friend, if I don't talk to a girl, I'll give you $300. So it just keeps going up. And that time, it's about 2 o'clock in the morning, I finally did it. So I did speak to a girl. Now, the greatest thing happened. We get back to the car, and we start reviewing the footage, and then we see that it's not on there. So, for some reason, the camera didn't get it. So it was bittersweet, right? I actually did it, but also it was not able to be filmed and recorded. So the next week, we go out again, and then I did approach somebody, and that was actually the very first approach that's in the video. It's those 3 girls. 2 of them were married, 1 was about to be married, just no date set. And what you guys didn't see is, with that one, about 10 seconds of video before that is just me trying to talk myself into actually going and approaching. You know, maybe in a later video I'll post that for you guys so you guys can really see how bad it is. So we go out the next week and I didn't talk to any girls. So then I gave him $300. So then again, I told him next week we go out, I'll give you $400. And that's when I kind of started changing a little bit. We had gone out a few times. I got more comfortable. So I started talking and engaging with more people, more social interactions. Even some where they just passed by me, didn't even say hi. But it's still the social aspect of it, of having to walk up and approach. Now, I'm still not comfortable with it. If you go back and rewatch the video, you'll see as soon as a girl tells me no, you see me kind of back up a little bit. I'm like, okay, no problem. Have a good day. You know, and that's from just wanting to leave that social interaction, you know, because it didn't go the way I wanted it to go, right? This rejection. But also what I learned is a lot of the interactions were pretty nice. Now I get it. It's a very aggressive question. I personally thought I would get a lot more people either slapping me or trying to punch me or getting into arguments with me. So I was actually surprised that a lot of the girls were very, very nice and very respectful. So like I said before, I just wanted to let people know why I did it, you know, and share the techniques that I used in trying to do this. It was something that was very well thought out. You know, as a lot of times, I think back to when I was younger, and I wish that I had someone at that time to help me through what I was going through. You know, and I didn't have that, and that's okay, because it made me the person that I am today. So, I got a lot of backlash, obviously, you know, that's to be expected. And most of it was through text, some of them were on the YouTube. But I wanted to really address that specifically. So a lot of times, when you do something, it's not the act itself that causes the anxiety. It's knowing that after you do the act, how others will perceive it. And sometimes that will force you to not do something because you don't want to be judged by others. So, like I said, I made this video. I hope that maybe people will get a better understanding as to why I did the video now, and kind of the insight as to what I was thinking when I did the video. I want to help them, and I understand that there still is a social stigma around therapy and going to get help. You know, and while I stand here and I wish I could just snap my finger and that won't be a problem, or that won't be a problem, that's not realistic, because it is. And that's kind of why I want to do this channel, just to kind of help those people that maybe won't go to therapy yet. Just they can't find themselves to go. And so they're on YouTube, and maybe they come across my video, maybe they come across others' videos. And, you know, I guess my advice would be, if you come across this video, to don't stop on mine. There's a bunch of other YouTubers out there that you can learn a bunch of valuable information from. So please keep researching. You know, as someone who's had depression for the last 10 years, and maybe I'll expand on that in another video, I know what it feels like to be in that place. You know, I know exactly what you're going through. And I'm just here to let you know that I'm here to help. Message me anytime, and I'll get back to you. I promise. So again, long video. I just want to say thank you for watching, if you've made it this far. And if you like it, please like the video and subscribe. Thank you. And I'll see you in the next video.